And with that, can we have a drum roll, please? Good evening, guys. It's Laird, VE3LKS. And of course, I don't know what it is this week. Every night it seems to be I just barely squeak into the shack in time to get this thing started. And so I do have the YouTube feed up and running, and got that going. And I guess I'm ready for check-ins. I'm going to assume Ken VE3RMK and Brian VA3BAH are going to be check-ins. So if there's anybody else that would like to check in to the COVID-19 Rag Chew, please come now.
VE3JAR. VE3LWJ. Victor Echo 3 Papa Whiskey Juliet. Victor Echo 3, Victor Echo Juliet.
Okay, very good. So far, I have VE3RMK, VA3BAH Brian, VE3DKW, that was Rylan, but I believe Mark is probably there with him. VE3JAR Vic, VE3LWJ Larry, VE3PWJ Peter, and VE3VGJ Joe. Is there anybody else that would like to check into the Rag Chew?
VE3IRB. VE3CLU. VA3JLQ, Larry.
Okay, very good. That round, let me see, who did I cut that time? I got, I think I already had Larry, LWJ. We got Peter, PWJ, Joe. Oh, yeah, we got those guys already. VE3IRB, Robert. I got VE3CRU, Bill. And I think it was VA3BLQ. Is that correct?
Yeah, VA3JLQ.
Okay, and very good. And is there anybody else that would like to check in for the Rag Chew at this time?
VE3CWR.
Okay, so I acknowledge Gerard, VE3CWR. And with that, we will go back to the top of the list to Ken, VE3RMK. Good evening, Ken. And how's things going this evening?
VE3LKS, this is VE3RMK. Good evening, Laird, and everybody on net. I have a report from Costco if anybody's interested. Over.
Sure thing.
All right. Left the house here at about 5:30. Got to Costco at about 5:45. Was in the store by 6. There were only 23 people on the line in front of me. Was out by 6:30, and by that time the line was about half the size. And yes, Costco does have toilet paper. Over.
I keep on waiting for it to drop, and I guess it's not dropping tonight. Very good, Ken. Yes, I was over there a bit early, but the lineup was too long, and I had too many things to do, so I forewent that pleasure. But very good. Yeah, there's more and more toilet paper coming back into the stores, so that's a good thing. And it's nice to see the shelves stocking up again. Let's see. Next on the list is Brian, VA3BAH from Kingston, Ontario.
Well, thanks for
for the check-in, Laird, and good evening to you and everyone else on net. And my apologies, Ken. Your call sign just didn't quite register with me until 30 seconds afterwards. So long time no see. Hope all is well. And I'm well stocked in toilet paper, but thanks for mentioning it. Over.
Yeah, we have to know where the hot spots are for supplies. I know I was out yesterday looking for eggs. Sorry. And quite a few of the stores that I went to were totally out of eggs. Luckily, I found some tonight at the Freshco there. Actually, right where close to Tim Hortons, where we have our weekly get together when we're not confined to our homes. And I was able to find a few dozen eggs there. So it's funny how these things come and go. You know, one day you'll be full of everything you don't need, and the next day when you need it, it's gone. Let's see, Mark, BE3, DKW, and Ryland. How are things going up there this evening?
Good. I was just wondering, what is your channel name? And I wanted to watch your videos. Thank you.
Okay, Rylan. Yeah, we're on YouTube, and if you just look up my call sign, which is Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra, you should find it, and it'll just be the live stream that's on right now. If you're really bored and you don't have enough schoolwork to keep you busy, there's a few other live streams on there from the previous nights as well that you can jump into. But very good. Glad to have you and your dad on board. Yeah. Any other questions before we move on?
Nope, just pass it back to you.
Okay, very good, Ryland. You're doing a wonderful job on the microphone this evening, and nice having you with us. Vic, VE3JAR, good evening.
Yeah, very good evening, Laird, and everybody else. Good to hear the group get together, and it was also great to see the sunshine, the blue sky here in Oshawa. Pavement is dry, no snow. The only other thing that I'd like to report is that last night was kind of an exciting deal on 6 meters and 10 meters. Made quite a few SSB contacts, so if you snoop around a little bit and make some noise, it livens up the band there, Laird. VE3JAR, over.
Very good, Vic. Yes, and you do have the station that can liven up the band, that's for sure. And just out of curiosity, were you able to complete that that goal that you were trying to accomplish?
Oh no, that's ongoing. Another five, and the last couple, when you're near the 100 mark, are a little bit more difficult to find.
Yes, that's for sure. Well, let us know as soon as you get that, because that's we sort of look forward to that on our nightly net. We're waiting for you to cross the finish line there. And looking at the live chat on the YouTube feed, it looks like Jeffrey, RTV, he'll be in here shortly. Oh, Steve McEdwards is checking in from the couch. Come on, Steve. That's great. Oh, but he's got me on the big screen TV. Oh my goodness, I can only imagine how bad I look on a 60-inch TV, let alone just on my monitor. And then we have Darren, NMD. He's also checking in. I don't know. There was a station trying to get in there a few times, but there was no audio. So when we take check-ins later on, maybe we'll hear you then. I don't know if that was Darren or not, but we'll give it another shot in a few minutes. Larry, VE3LWJ.
Yes, it's Larry, LWJ. It's a lovely day today. Nice sunny day. I was able to get out the boat. Matter of fact, we took some oil over to the dump and crankcase oil and spread fertilizer. So we're right up to day. Back to you, Larry.
Spreading fertilizer. Man, a lot of people tell me that I do that naturally. Hi, hi. Very good. Glad to hear you were able to get out and about, and it was a beautiful day to do that. I was stuck in my office working, but at least I was working from home, which is sort of nice. Although I think I'm going to gain weight because eating at home is not like eating at the office. That's for sure. Let's see, Peter VE3PWJ. How was Costco early this morning?
Well, good evening, Larry, and everybody I met. I didn't go to Costco, but Diane did. I was down on the treadmill, so I was on that thing for an hour. And the Zoom experience was very, very good. Everything went along just fine. So I think maybe that is something we can look forward to doing here with the club, Larry. So I'll put it back to you so I can get some more beans for the big pot there.
Well, speaking of beans, I did buy beans today while I was out at No Frills, so I do have some beans for the pot. Hi. Very good, Peter. Yeah, so what was I going to say? Oh, yes, Margaret. And how is she faring?
Well, she was sort of half awake when the nurse there put the video on, but we got her going. As soon as she saw Diane, she just perked right up right away. So, but it was very good quality. I did take a screenshot, so I'll show it to you sometime. And we get a minute, if we can all get back together whenever that happens. It looks like another 3 months they're talking about now. But anyway, it was a nice experience. She could hear and see us okay, and I could do the same from this end. So it's all a nice little program, Alert.
Very good, Peter. I think what we're going to need to do is start organizing shopping trips to Costco, and everyone just plans on meeting there at the same time, like say a Wednesday at 4 p.m. And you can just, say hi to people as you pass them in the aisleways. I'm not going to recognize you though, Peter, because by the time we start doing that, your hair is going to be down past your shoulders, and no barbers are open to give it a cut. So we'll have to wear our new name badges so we know who everybody is. Let's see, Joe, VE3VGJ in the greater Bowmanville area.
Good evening, Larry. Never down frequency. Not a lot to say tonight other than I sent Larry, VA3 Fort Henry Guard, an email explaining how he can watch you on YouTube. I haven't got back to me. I just sent it out about half an hour ago. Sometimes we don't hear about message too much, but I thought I might be able to check in with you there online. And it's funny, everybody's talking about toilet paper. It's funny how it's become such a commodity in the crisis like this. And regards to eggs, you're going up to WFF this weekend. There's a place to get your eggs. I got a flat last week, and I've just been aging them a bit, and they're going to be destined for pickled eggs this weekend when I have a chance. Back to you.
Well, if you were watching YouTube, you probably saw my reaction when you mentioned pickled eggs. Oh, those things are of the devil, Joe. I don't know about you guys and your pickled eggs. But just out of curiosity, how many dozen are there in one of those flats? Is it 3 dozen or 2.5?
I'll confirm, but I think it's 2.5, and I think it ran $6.50 if I'm not mistaken, and that's for extra large. I think it is.
Okay, that's really reasonable. Very good. Yeah, I got enough to see me through until then, but definitely will be picking up a load of those as well. And keeping the local guys gainfully employed, and hopefully they can survive. Although he is a chicken farmer as well, so I'm sure that helps out too. Let's see. Yeah, Darren checked in. Brian Hopkins is wondering if I've got a new hat. Actually, no, this is an older hat. I probably had it for, 3 or 4 years now, and Alex, AMP, got it for me. When he was still working out in the oil fields, driving an oil tanker, he got some of these, and I was the lucky recipient of one of these, and it's one of my favorite hats. I like green and black and cream-colored things. I've got 2 coats like that, and so this matches a lot of my wardrobe. So It's my one of my go-to hats. If something ever happens to it, I'm in trouble. And let's see, someone else. Oh, John Smith is in here. Good evening, John. I hope to hear you on the radio. And RPN, sorry. That's what happens. I need my glasses to see far away, but I need to take them off to read. Now I look like an old man. He's checking in. Scott's checking in online. He won't be on the radio tonight. Very good. And yes, Brian, it has flames on it too. That's what happens when the oil truck catches on fire, I guess, when it's going across the prairies. Very good, Joe. Well, thank you for checking in, and we're going to move down the list to Robert, VE3IRB.
Well, VE3IRB, saying hello to everybody. I had a productive day myself, just working around the house and such stuff. It's amazing how much everybody's house is going to be so tidy by the time we're done this extended vacation or whatever they call it. Back to you.
Well, so far I haven't had much of an extended vacation. So I've been unfortunate enough to still be working, but yes, I'm sure. I know there was a lot of people out doing yard work today because it was a nice day, and I noticed that the videos sort of got jerky a bit tonight because my mic cord is sort of moving funny there. But it must be just the bandwidth usage that's picking up the more and more people are stuck at home. Let's see, Bill, VE3CRU. Okay, nothing heard from Bill, so we'll go down to VA3JLQ, and I believe if I looked up the call properly, your name is John.
Larry.
Oh, I left a letter out there. Sorry. I think you said Larry. Well, welcome aboard, Larry. And I guess I didn't look it up right. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us, and take it away.
Yeah, good evening to everybody online. Today was pretty productive. I got my mobility, my three-wheeler with my, I got a split radio unit for the meters. I got it all installed, working fine. And besides that, I cleaned up a bit of leaves, and that's about it.
Very good, Larry. And whereabouts are you located?
All of them came, Harmony came.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes. I think you're just sort of down the street from me. I'm over by Adelaide, just at the top of Adelaide, out towards Town Line. I think we've chatted before. Sorry for not remembering your putting the name and the call sign together, Larry. But we're glad to have you on with us this evening. VE3CWR, Gerard.
Yeah, good evening all. Hope all is well with everybody. We're doing okay here. My wife and I got all the first floor in the bungalow all done. Walls all washed. She's clean and clean. Hi. So anyway, she won't be saying that when she gets down here to this room. Hi. Basement here. That we're going to start, I think, probably Friday. And quite a mess to clean up here at my ham shack. It's always a mess. So anyway, I got a battery from Hytera today, and I put it in. It's an aftermarket battery. I put it in. The radio told me it's wrong battery, and it started beeping, and then it stopped. Every time I turn it on, it tells me I got the wrong battery in it. Boy, I don't know. Pretty smart radio.
Interesting, and yet it fit properly. I would assume, otherwise it wouldn't even turn on. So, I'm wondering if it's like some of the printers that are out there where if you don't use the OEM cartridge, you need a little chip to fool it into thinking that it is an OEM cartridge. So you may want to Google that and see if there's a workaround, Gerard, before you send it back. But interesting. I didn't realize they would do that on a battery. And I think it was, what's today, Wednesday? Monday night after the net, a gentleman named Percy came on, and his call sign was VE3SAA, and he was going through a list of names of people that he used to talk with all the time, and yours popped up, and I said, well, if you had been on here about 20 minutes earlier, you could have talked with Gerard. So maybe Percy will come on tonight, and you guys will be able to hook up again.
Okay, Laird. Yep. Good to hear from him. Yeah, I'll be leaving after this round goes around. I have to talk to a guy down east on DMR. It's the first time I heard him. We got talking this morning on NS Rag. So anyway, I got to get back to him shortly. So I'll listen one more round here. Go ahead.
Okay, very good, Gerard. Well, thanks for being with us this evening. It's nice to have you with us, and have a great time chatting with your friends down there in the Maritimes as well. And with that, we will take a standby and see if anyone else would like to check into the COVID-19 Rag Chew this evening.
Victor Alpha 3, Delta Charlie Echo. Victor Alpha 3, Kilowatt 2, Tango. VA3, yeah.
VA3, Romeo, Tango, Victor.
VE3, IGX. VE3, HIX.
VE3, CRU, the battery problems.
Okay, very good. I copied Doug, VA3 DCE, John, VE3 KZT, Jack, VA3 JFW, Jeffrey, VA3 RTV, Cam, VE3 IGX, and Bob, VE3 HIX. Is there anyone else?
VE3 BLM.
Okay, I acknowledge VE3 PLM, and that last station, was that Lee, VE3 LSO?
Roger, Laird. Coming in for a handheld how copy?
Very difficult. When you gave your call sign, all I heard was SO, and so I just took a guess at it, and it's quite staticky. But maybe by the time we get to you, you'll have maybe adjusted it a bit. But we'll leave you on the list and talk to you in a few minutes. Let's see. We'll go back up the list here. Oh, and I acknowledge Bill too, with battery problems. Since Bill missed his turn earlier, we'll go to Bill first. VE3 CRU. Okay, it sounds like Bill's still having battery problems. Doug, VA3 DCE.
Good evening, Laird. Everybody on frequency. I just take a little break between the washer and the dryer, and I got about 2 minutes, and I'll be gone again. Where I'll be here for your next go around, I don't know, but I've been listening to you on the YouTube display down in the lighting room. It's awful noisy, but it is very entertaining. And if those that haven't got the radio, the YouTube alternative is quite entertaining. Anyway, Laird, thank you very much, and back to you.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I think we're up to 12 subscribers now, Doug. We're just ripping up the interwebs. And although it's interesting to see how many hits we get on watches. Now, I think that some of that is people who start and then come back on. But it's interesting to see some of the stats that pops up there too. Very good. Well, make sure you don't starch the undies like you did last time, because it it causes a problem down in the other area there. VE3 KZT John, good evening.
Good evening, Larry. Hello on that. So that again, looks like we got another bunch of customers. Finally got an HF rig on the air today, so we'll see some wire out the window and hooked up and work some DF. There you go, on 20 meters. VE3 KZT, back to net.
Hey, good stuff, John. That's what we like to hear. I know Cam was working on an antenna earlier that improved his signal this week, and it's good to hear that you're able to take advantage of the weather and get outside, put a little antenna up, and now you're on HF as well. So that's beautiful. Good to hear that. That's what we like to hear. Nothing pleases an amateur radio operator more than when they hear that people get their stations up and running and make improvements and are able to take full advantage of the hobby. Keep up the good work there, John. Jack, VA3 JFW.
JFW. Evidence coming on here in a few minutes. Larry, so I'm just expecting all recheck later on on the credit. I'm not expecting the hospital first on HF, but I do have CQ Wide London. As long as the group that's coming on there requiring it yet. So I'll get back after the LSR. That's from Edgar.
Okay, very good, Jack. Well, pass along our greetings to the LSR net from everyone on the North Shore net, and wish them a good evening for us.
I will certainly do that.
And I saw your little advertising today on Facebook for us. I do appreciate that as well, getting us known on YouTube out there. Okay. That was Jack. So now we're down to Jeffrey, VA3RTV.
Yes, good evening, Led, and everybody else, including the listeners. I think maybe Brad, John, and Chris might be listening in onto the YouTube channel there, which is even more entertaining. And such a lovely day. Went out on the bike for about 3 hours. Ended up at Burton, where that little cafe is, which is open to takeout. But you go in, order, take it out, and then of course you got the patio there with all the seats. So that was just myself and my friend Eric on our bike. So enjoy the afternoon. Back to you, Les.
Just you and Eric. I hope there's no little riff going on with you and Bob here. We'll have to find out when Bob comes on in a few minutes. With that, we'll head to Cam, VE3IGX.
Yeah, good evening to all. And Jeffrey and I were talking there the other day when I put that antenna up, and we were talking about the rain, getting rid of all the salt, and we're just waiting for warm weather to come around to get the bikes out. So this morning I took the battery tender off of mine, pumped the tires up, put her out on the driveway, and warmed her up, so she's all ready to go. It was a little bit chilly when I was out there, so I'm waiting for a little warmer day. So we'll give it all back.
Yeah, you and I must have the same blood type there, Cam, because I know I went out at lunchtime after I ate and went for a little walk just to stretch my legs from being sitting down all morning. And there was people out with shorts and t-shirts on, and I'm thinking, I don't know about that. I still had sort of like my fall, early winter jacket on, or I guess you could call it late winter, early spring jacket. And I was just quite comfortable, and yet these people are out with shorts and t-shirts on. I think you're just asking to get sick doing that, but maybe they got different body compositions than I do. Let me see, VE3HIX Bob, and Has anything happened between you and Jeffrey and your bikes?
No, Jeffrey and his friend there love to go out in the cold weather, and I love the warm weather. So I go out with them, or both. And I spend days like this cleaning the place up. Got all the raking done and everything in little piles, some stuff in bags. But the best thing I've discovered here after all these years in this house is called tamarack trees all the way around the outside, so they shed their needles in the fall. And when you have asphalt tiles on the roof, they stick in between the slots of the tiles, heat up in the sun, and eat the tiles. Well, I just had the place done with fiberglass shingles, the more modern tiles, and the tamarack needles don't go up inside. So the roof was clean except for a few twigs, and I got those off of the blower, and used the same blower on the rest of the place, blew everything onto the lawn, and then started raking. So yes, I do the work in the crummy weather, and then I can use the bike with these guys in the good weather. Back to you, Larry. E3HIX.
Very good, Bob. And they probably couldn't keep up to you with you on your Vespa anyways. So it's better if you just let those guys ride along at their little slow piddly pace. Let's see who's next on the list. Peter, VE3 PLM. Good evening from Newcastle.
Yeah, very good. Good evening to you, Laird, and everybody on the net, and congratulations on the newfound YouTube. Well, it is to me. I don't know diddly do of how that works. So all I have here is a desktop, and I'm sure that can be applied. But one of these days, maybe I'll do that. But I'm very happy that there's more activity, and that's what we need. The repeaters, if we don't use them, we lose them, and it takes a while, mind you. But I'm looking forward to investigating down the log. So I don't have much more to say other than enjoy, and I'll catch you very soon. This is the Papa Lima Mike.
Okay, very good, Peter. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. And yeah, we're hoping to do this COVID-19 rag chew every weekday night from at 7 o'clock until this COVID-19 is gone and we're all back to our normal lives. Then we'll just resume on the Tuesday night nets. But yeah, every weeknight, so that's Monday to Friday at 7. We'll be on here. I may not necessarily always be the controller, and if anybody else ever wants a turn, by all means, just let me know. I'll be happy to let you take a run at it. But Peter, make sure you say hi to your beautiful wife Maria for us. The most beautiful name I ever heard, Maria. Does anybody know what musical that's from? That's going to be the testing quiz for tonight. And Peter, you probably can't answer that because you already know, probably. So with that, we're going to take a short standby and see if there's anybody else that would like to check in with the COVID-19 rag chew.
You forgot about LSO.
LSO. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Yes, LSO. Lee, come on back. Are you able to hear us? And I guess a better question: am I able to hear you?
Laird, just running crossband through the towers, so hopefully that's better. How copy?
Oh, 100% copy now, Lee. That's perfect.
Great day. Got rid of some stuff around the house through CGT deals. Although doing them now kind of feels more like a drug deal. You spend the money electronically, so no hand to hand, and then you basically just show up in the driveway, drop it in the driveway, and leave. So interesting process now, but it works. We've got to be creative in these times. And just outside, enjoying the nice weather, cleaning up the garage, and hopefully getting the Jeep out soon. So everything's looking up. We'll see what the rest of the week holds. Thanks for taking my call, and thanks for running the net. Back to you from VE3 LSO.
Okay, very good, Lee. Just a quick question. Are you able to take your Jeep through the Ganney, or do they allow that size of motorized vehicles still?
To be honest, I don't not know. Haven't even tried. Because the main reason I got my Jeep was I never had so much of the sun with me. So the midlife crisis question came down to, do I get a Jeep or do I get a bike? So I thought Jeep would be a better idea. And literally it's just to ride with the roof off in the summer. I don't do much off-roading with it. I've got a four-wheeler for that. So yeah, I don't really know all the hot spots around for it.
Okay, so you're one of the guys that puts it in four-wheel drive, pops it up onto the front yard, and then gives it a good washing. Hi, very good, Lee. Well, if you got a four-wheeler, you've got the perfect area out there for that. That's for sure. We'll take the opportunity now to see if there's anybody else out there that would like to join the Rag Chew this evening.
VE3CRU now running off a booster battery. The car battery is super dead. Need new one. Second, VE3SA.
Okay, so I've got a recheck with Bill, who it's really not a recheck. Every time we go back to him, his battery's dead. And we have Percy, VE3SAA. And Percy, earlier we had Gerard on. So with that, let's take Percy and Gerard. Are you still around? Let me see if Gerard's still here first.
Good evening, Larry, and you're doing real fine on the net tonight. Busy, I'll tell you. It's the only time other than our boy that wants to cycle the machine, you're the only one that seems to be on frequency. Yeah, strangely enough, the call sign's okay, and everything else seems to be okay, Larry, but the voice doesn't seem to be. My buddy, CWR, I don't really know why that is, but we'll sort it out. There we go.
Yeah, I know Gerard said he had to go to another call, but let's see if he's still here. Gerard, are you still with us? VE3 CWR. No, unfortunately, Gerard had to go to another call. He was had a sked with someone down in the Maritimes on HF, or sorry, not on HF, on DMR. So he may be back though. So don't run away, Percy. Sorry, and maybe he'll be back on here before we finish up. And let's go back up to Bill. Hopefully this battery hasn't died, because if so, that means I've killed 3 things in one night.
Okay, Larry, VE3CRU here. I hope that things are running okay now. Well, I had a booster battery, but I put the regular charger on it, and it wouldn't do a thing. Whoops, you may hear the engine. I'm rubbing it too much. But so I had a booster battery that I put a charge into it. It was all I could do to get the car to start using it there. But now I'm letting the car recharge it. And as I say, I don't think the car battery got charged. I'd probably have to call CAA because I obviously aren't taking it anywhere. But anyway, to background today. First of all, a day late, I managed to get a hold of my now 13-year-old grandson in Kitchener, who then put his almost 11-year-old brother on after there. The other guy will be 11 in 3 weeks. And I found out at supper time that my neighbor next door, who was in the Seven Oaks long, what do they call it, long care retirement, whatever it is, 8 people have died there today. But it's a large home with 240 patients, out at up in Bob Cajun. But other than that, as I say, there's a lot of other things I could get into. But not knowing how many chickens you got already, maybe I just better sit back and listen. But thanks for finally getting me in, the E3CRU.
Very good, Bill. Well, as I mentioned the other night, if you're looking for a battery, if you buy it from CAA, they'll actually come right to your place and put a new one in for you. I don't know how much they charge for the battery, whether it's worth them to do it. You'll have to figure out the cost, but that's an option. And we're sitting right now at 21 people on the Rag Chew this evening. And with that, we're going to go way back up to the top to Ken, VE3RMK. Wakey, wakey, Ken. Uh-oh, we may have lost Ken. Brian, VA3BAH. I see him typing online here, so hopefully he's still around too.
Oops, sorry about that. I misplaced my mouse for a second there. I was typing between myself and Joe on the sidebar. So what can I say? It's a gadget to play with. We were talking about the bike race up at Gans Forest. I seem to remember that was an annual project for the club, but I guess I'm dating myself. Now back to you, Larry.
Very good. Very good, Brian. Yes, we can all carbon date ourselves by some of the stuff we've done on ham radio. Uh-oh, I'm being dumped by Steve, VA3 TPS from the big screen TV. Apparently his wife wants to watch a TV show. Come on, Mrs. McEdwards. Why couldn't you just watch this for a while? Anyways, very good, Steve. But at least we'll be able to hear you on the repeater. So, oh no, because you were on the comfy couch. You're not going out to the shack. Well, Steve, it was nice having you with us this evening. And make sure you get up and make your wife a nice cup of tea and maybe a bowl of popcorn so she can enjoy her show. Mark and Rylan, VE3DKW.
Running off a Switch and a Raspberry Pi, and they're pretty good. So, yeah, we've been working on like setting these up. Yeah. And, we have one for pretty much all the rooms, like one in the living room, one in my room, one here, and one in the basement. On the next meeting, we can meet in my home.
How easy it is to set up jack. Another communication alternative that we use. And that's quite a count. It also out. So it's an interesting little thing that everybody would set up. I thought like this for $25 off eBay. Yeah, it'd be something we could show the club. Anyway, back to you.
Sounds good, Mark. Yes, I'd be very interested in seeing a presentation on that. And I'm sure the club members would too. And Raspberry Pis, it's funny. I don't claim to be a professional at all when it comes to Raspberry Pis, but I sure love playing with them. I've used them for streaming television and video, like from YouTube and that. I've used them for iGates on the APRS amateur radio system. And they're just a lot of fun to play with. So when Rylan goes back to school, he'll be ready to step into third year of university instead of back into whatever grade he is in elementary school. That's great. Glad to hear you guys are having lots of fun and putting that brain to good use, filling it full of good information. Vic, VE3JAR.
Yeah, okay. Well, got a big group going here tonight there, Laird, and everybody's got their own little deals and excitement. Sure great to hear PLM, Peter, back on the frequency. Haven't heard his voice for a long time. I hope all is well there at his household. Other than that, there's nothing, just looking to the west. beautiful sunset. Take care of the E3JAR. Good night.
Okay, thanks for being with us, Vic, and say hi to Diane for us and pass along greetings. And when I look to the west, I just see a brick wall, or not a brick wall, a paneled wall. I'd have to stand up and look out the basement window to see the sunset, but I'll take your word for it. It has that look coming through the cracks that it could be nice out there. Let's see, Larry, VE3LWJ. Oh, let's take a recheck there if you don't mind, Larry, with Jack.
Okay, Larry, just put me back on the list. I did get regards to the LSR group. So we're back here.
Okay, very good. Appreciate that, Jack. And now we'll go to Larry, VE3LWJ.
Yes, it's Larry. At 7:30, I guess I was out on the porch again with all the neighbors banging pots and pans. Thanks to people that, the nurses and people that are still going to work and looking after us. And Joe, I believe you said something about sending me an email with regard to seeing Laird on the TV. I didn't get the email. I can see Laird, but I don't know how to hook up like the rest of the folks do. Or perhaps I could send you an email and we'll go from there. Back to you, Laird.
Okay, very good, Larry. I'll let you and Joe carry on there in the background with your emails. And we'll take it on down to Peter, VE3PWJ.
That's really a nice nut you got going, and I have been sitting here digesting my Costco steak that I did on the barbecue tonight.
Oh,
Contemplating tomorrow, I think I'll drag the floor jack out of the shed and I'll put the Mazda summer tires on it. So that's something for me to look forward to. I'm gonna throw it back to you there, Larry.
oh, there you go. By the time I get a chance to do that, it'll probably be the weekend. It'll be raining. So if, by all means, if you want to come over to my place tomorrow, Peter, I'll show you where in the garage they are, and you can knock yourself out too. Let's see, Joe, VE3VGJ.
Yes, Roger there, Larry. Boy, you got a good turnout tonight. And yes, that Raspberry Pi, they're quite the tool. I've never really gotten into them, but just use microprocessors and other things. And that seems quite the nice little outfit. You're going to have to figure out some way of connecting to one of those nano VNAs there. Hi. And Larry, I was talking about the other Larry, VA3, Fort Henry Guard. I sent him the information because I haven't heard him on the air. If you want, though, I will still send you the email. I sent him just how to connect on YouTube. It's pretty well straightforward. I thought you were already doing that anyway. Larry, I don't know if you can just sit there and reply to me at this moment.
Sure, go ahead, Larry.
Yes, okay, I heard that, Joe. Yes, I'm watching Laird here, but his voice is way out of sync with the handheld, for one thing. But some of you folks are checking in knows when you're watching him. I don't know how to do that. I have him on the screen, but don't know how to connect that way. So perhaps you can send that to me via an email, and I can do the same thing. Back to you. There is the delay. There's always a delay. I have it on here, but I listen to the radio. I shut the computer sound off. And I'm not sure whether you're talking about the sideband there. That one you have to register an account, and then you can get on there and type comments. I'm not sure if that's what you're meaning. Sorry, Larry, I didn't want to take your time up here, but just a quick reply there, Larry. It's okay. That's what I meant. The account. Yes, setting up an account. That's what I meant, Joe. Thank you. Yeah, very good there. I might be able to walk you through it, but I think you just go there and start filling in the blanks there. Back to you, Larry.
Okay, yes, once you do have a YouTube account, and there's no cost for it, it does allow you a few extra things, like Joe was saying. When you're watching a live stream, you can actually type comments in on the side that everyone can see. And another nice thing is that when you're watching, say, a series of YouTube videos, it'll keep track of what you've watched and what you haven't, so you don't have to try to figure out what you've seen and what you need to see. You can just go to the ones that you haven't seen and continue on. So it's nice that way. And I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, man. But it's great. There's a lot of good content out there, and it's a good way. I know during this time of confinement, if you need help with anything, around the house, you're trying to figure out. If you Google it or if you YouTube it, you'll find it probably. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Was that Larry or Joe? See, I'm having an old timers moment here. I think that was Larry. So no, it already did Peter, Joe. So we'll go to Robert, VE3IRB. Sorry, guys, the old man's confused.
VE3IRB. Yeah, I can throw your schedule off, and we are saving a lot of time. No, I'm still working too, but there's no commuting. When you do go anywhere, there's no traffic. It works pretty good. I've got to do a couple things here, so I'm going to be signing off at this point. I'll try to listen in as I'm on the phone, but
not COVID, don't worry.
IRB.
Okay, very good, Bob. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. And yes, this is going to be our last round anyways, because we got quite a crowd on this evening, so we're only going to be able to squeeze in 2 rounds. And with that, we will head down to Bill, VE3CRU.
Okay, we're still here. We're still on the air, I think, there. So, yes, I think I will give CAA a call about the battery, as they say, because while I'm not supposed to go anywhere in an emergency, I need to know the vehicle will work, will get me somewhere. So, as I say, family emergency, goodness knows what. So, no, I will look after that in the morning. But thanks for even bringing that up, because, as I say, you're paying for CAA membership, you might as well take advantage of a few perks. As I say, I don't call them the boost because I can usually charge the battery myself. But this time it's too late. So anyway, all the best to everybody, and as I say, we'll cover off a lot of other things that other night. 7-3.
Very good, Bill. And I'm not trying to plug CAA by any stretch of the imagination, because I think they're in cahoots with my mechanic. Last week, I went out one morning, I think it was Thursday morning, and my car wouldn't start. It would turn over, no problem, but it wouldn't fire. Ended up being the fuel pump. So my mechanic told me to call CAA because they said as soon as you sign up, you can get a free tow. So I called CAA, signed up, got my free tow, and I think it was about $700 later the fuel pump was fixed. It's a brutal thing on the vehicle that I have. But when I was signing up for CAA, I put my wife on there as well as my son Caleb, since he's still home. And it worked out well because what's today? I think it was Monday. Caleb was out and doing a bit of grocery shopping, and he went to get back in the vehicle, and his vehicle would start, but it wouldn't go into any gear. The linkage had broken for the transmission. So literally in about 4 days, CAA had to do 2 tows for us, and my mechanic is making out like a bandit. Let's see. John, VA3JLQ. Sorry, not John, Larry. Sorry, I read the wrong line. Can't even read my own writing. I must be becoming a doctor.
It happens with age, I guess. Yep. So it's very nice hearing everybody on the net. And, it sounds like the crowd's getting better. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. And 7-3 from JL.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us, Larry, and we look forward to hearing you again in the future on our nets. VE3CWR, Gerard, are you back from your maritime contact? Okay, nothing heard. Maybe after the net, Percy, I'll get Joe to give Gerard a little dingle, because I think he's got his cell number, and have him get on the repeater so you guys can have a little chat. VA3 DCE, how's the folding of the undies, and have you matched all the socks up? Oh, he must still be down in the laundry room. Let's see, who's next on the list? John, VE3 KZT.
I'm still here. The game tonight. I'm just checking to see which stars I could receive on the input. There's quite a gang of them. Even Larry with his walkie-talkie is stronger into me than through the repeater. Nothing to add. Just hanging along here to the internet. V3 KZT will be monitored.
Very good, John. Yeah, I know someone, I don't know whether it was you that mentioned it last night on the net or one of the nights, but someone else mentioned it too on direct. So it'd be fun maybe sometime on a weekend, if we have some lousy weather some weekend during this thing, to get everybody on the repeater, and then we will just switch over to Simplex and see who we can hear on Simplex. It'll be an interesting little experiment. Sorry. Let's see. Where was I down to? Jack, VA3 JFW.
Something like that might be an idea. And we can all watch TV or the love bubble. I want here in the hospital. I've been on without it. It was pretty boring at times. Looking at the window, but I can't see much. Anyway, I thought, there's another song that's the next star. We're not sorry that. LS star, they're strawberries. The Beatles, they were just on that. Wednesday night. And it really is busy like that. At 7:30 to go. There's a few projects in there, but that's okay. We got there. The boss is busy as well. I really enjoy that. See you.
Okay, Bill, is this an emergency or can I put you off towards the end?
No, I don't know. All I want to have is VE3 DKW, a relative of Mike Sherman, VE3 DKW Solid G.
No, my understanding, Mark is not a relative, but he does have he took the course and he got Mike's call sign. Just a coincidence.
Sure, Joe. I'm shutting down now and disconnecting everything. I'm going inside, and I'll deal with the car in the morning. Thanks for letting me in the net, and been a great one. 73.
Okay, 73, Bill. VA3 RTV, Jeffrey.
Yeah, thanks very much, Led. And that's the last go around. I'll say good night to everybody. And just a couple of things. I've been playing with the Nano, checking all the antennas, including the HF stuff. And actually, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I found that depending on what software version you've got in it, the menu is set up differently. So I've got two charts and they conflict with each other, and neither one of them is the same as what I've got in mind. So yeah, I think we need to have a Nano meeting when all this gets sorted out so that we can compare notes. Let's see, what else? Lois has been using this Zoom. We both set up the account yesterday and were playing with it. I think she sent you a link, but it does appear that because of some of the issues that they've got with Zoom, that it's recommended that you don't use a PC, use a phone or an iPad. So I don't know if you've got any thoughts on that, Ed. And one last thing, I got to tell you that when we do go out with Bob on his scooter, he is not slow. There is no problem at all in the speed that Bob goes at. So it's amazing that scooter is it easily keeps up with us and can easily go on the 401. So pretty good. And with that, I'll say good night. All the best.
yes, I was reading that article that Lois had sent along, and it appeared that it was only on the Macintosh device, the Mac computer. Didn't mention anything at all about PCs. And to be quite honest, I'm not overly concerned because I use the online version anyways. So as long as you're not loading up the software on your PC as a server, then you don't seem to have that issue. It's only if you're loading it onto your PC and using it as a server that you would get that issue. At least that's what I read into it. And in case anybody's wondering what a nano is, we've been talking about this evening. I've flashed it up here on YouTube. It's just a little device. It can do all sorts of wonderful things. I don't know probably 1/100th of what it can do. I just use it for figuring out whether my antenna is tuned or where it's tuned at. So this will scan anything from 80 meters all the way up to 440, up to 900 megahertz actually, and it'll show you where all the where it's got the lowest SWR and etc. etc. So when you're tuning an antenna, you can use that, and as you tune it, you'll see instantly what's happening. Let's see, Cam VE3IGX.
Okay, another fine job there, Laird. And you were talking about looking at all the YouTube videos. I just downloaded some late this afternoon, so I guess I'll be doing a few videos watching on that. And with that, I'll say 73 to everybody, and I'll be just standing by till the end.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks again for joining us, Cam. And yeah, you're gonna hopefully we'll use that for our meeting in April. I just got to come up with some meeting topics now, and so we can use it. The nice thing I like about it is not only will it do the webcam, but if I want to show you something that I've got on my computer, like how to use FT8 or something, you can there's an option where you can click it, and instead of sending the webcam info, it'll send whatever's on your screen. So it'll make it very good to have a nice interactive display. Let's see, Bob, VE3HIX. I don't think Jeffrey got my point in that you would leave them behind.
Well, 250cc motorbike these days can keep up with most things, and you don't have to pay much for gas, you don't have to pay much for insurance, so life could be worse. Really nice to see you outside going down gently, because I got piles of weeds and things out there that I raked up today. I want to put into bags as the day breaks tomorrow, without the wind blowing everything around. And then the last thing is, yes, beginning of the month, that means that previous month is closed, so I did the club's books, and everything balances up. The only thing we had doing this past month were the badges. There was cash for that, and the bank balance hasn't changed at all. So everything balanced out nicely. And we'll turn that back over to you, Laird, and thanks very much for taking another one, and we'll be standing by for the 3HIX.
Okay, very good. I just noticed my webcam was freezing up a bit, but yeah, good work on the treasury part there, Bob. And it's good to have you in control of that. And we do have a couple of questions from the interwebs, the guys watching on YouTube. One of them is, do I watch Ham Nation? I don't think so. My favorite guy on there is actually K6UDA. That's Kilo 6 Uniform Delta Alpha. Then there's another guy, VE3 Edward Papa. He's pretty good too. He does a lot of antenna stuff. But I'll look for this Ham Nation and see what they have. Some of the guys are just boring. They're like watching me every night do a rag chew, if not worse. Scott, a proctologist? I'm not sure what he's referring to there. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound good. And let's see, there was something else. Brian was asking how much was that. I'm assuming you're referring to the Nano. Oh, my screen just locked again. But the Nano is around $70, so you can't complain. Now that didn't include the holder that it was in. A friend of mine made that. It's just on there with Velcro, but just the Nano itself and a couple of cables where it was $70, and it's a great little device. Yeah, with that we'll go down to, let's see who's next. Peter, VE3PLM, and no one guessed the name of the song that I was mentioning with your wife's name in it.
Yeah, well, I know this what it is, obviously. So, you want me to leak it out? I can do that for you.
Or sing it, like the most beautiful name I ever heard. Maria, 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 Maria. That's from West Side Story. Man, that's an oldie.
Oh my goodness. No, I caught that myself. Right, I kind of saw that coming, but it's very pleasurable. And there's one thing you can't do, Laird. You can't sing, nor can I. You're probably better than me. You have to get me to sip a few things first, but then again, I don't drink. Uh, coffee is good, water is good, milk is good. But anyway, I'm going to bore everybody to sleep. They'll go old and put their stuff on, and that's about 5. Anyway, I'm out in the country, boys, so don't put into downtown. No need. Anyway, thanks, Larry. I'll talk to you all again real soon. And congratulations on the folks getting that working. And I'll do a little look up and see if I can get myself involved with it a little bit too. I'm not saying tonight or tomorrow, but I will do that. I'll keep that in mind. And thanks again. I'm going to get up and finish the dishes that I didn't finish. So I'll talk to you all later. Be well and be safe. VE3PLM clear.
Okay, very good, Pierre, and thanks for joining us this evening. And I hope I hope you've got Dawn. Is it Dawn? Where you don't get the dishpan hands like Madge. Anyways, that's a throwback as well. VE3 LSO Lee.
Good evening again, Laird. Just enjoying my new purchase here that has saved me from the nausea of being isolated. I went and treated myself to milk frothing. Not only does it take my breakfast cup of coffee to the next level, but I've just discovered what it does to hot chocolate. I don't think I'm ever going to leave the house even if I can. Throw yourself some milk, cocoa powder at the top of it, let it do its magic, and wow, that's a way to end the day for sure. That's all for me, Larry. Thanks for taking my call. Back to you.
Oh, sure. You tempt us with that when there's social distancing going on. There'll be payback, Lee. There will be payback. And let's see. Down to the last name on the list is Percy, VE3SAA. And Joe, if you don't mind giving a dingle to Gerard, see if he can hop back on the repeater if he's able to. Take it away, Percy.
Thanks very much, Larry. Yeah, we got a mystery going here. My friend doesn't seem to be who he is, so, but is it Charlie Whiskey Romeo? Is that the call sign?
That's correct. Yeah, his name is Gerard, but I think he does go by the nickname Jerry as well.
Yeah, everything matches except the voice. I don't know. It's a puzzler to me, Larry, but I'm waiting for him to come back on frequency and maybe I can solve it. Now, Jerry's been with the TTC for half his life, and we've been buddies for a lot of years. So I was even surprised to hear him on the net here, but that's the way he goes. Anyway, hopefully we can cross swords and see what's going on for the E3 SAA.
Okay, very good, Percy. Well, you do just keep missing each other, but Joe's going to try Gerard. He tried him twice and no answer, so he's not answering his phone right now, but we tried. So just keep coming back on, pop back on tomorrow night. Eventually, you two will both be on at the same time. Hi. And with that, we're going to take one final call for check-ins. It'll just be a short one, but if anyone's out there who really wants to be on the COVID-19 Rag Chew tonight, here's your last opportunity.
Recheck.
Victor Alpha 3, Golf Alpha Romeo.
Okay, I had one recheck, and I had VA3 GAR. Glenn, good evening, Glenn. And I'll get to the recheck in a minute.
Recheck.
Yeah, we'll get to the recheck in a minute. Go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, VA3 GAR. I'm still working during this nonsense, but at reduced hours, a few days a week, and I just happen to be off tonight, so I just remembered about the nuts, so I figured I'd jump in here.
Okay, very good, Glenn. Well, glad to have you aboard, although it's right at the very end. But let me just take the recheck, and then I'll come back to you again. The recheck, go ahead.
Gerard just returned my call, and he's going to be on frequency shortly to talk to Percy.
Okay, very good. Did you copy that, Percy?
All right, you're very good. Did you ever hear Gerard say VE3DWR in the car? Did you ever hear him say that?
I don't think I have, but usually when I'm talking to him, he's not in the car. So maybe we just haven't had hit the right opportunity when we've been able to do that. And I just want to get back to Glenn for a second before Gerard pops on here. And let's see. Yeah, Glenn, go ahead. Glad to have you on with us. And yes, I know how it feels. I'm almost envious of some of these people who aren't working because they tell me all the fun stuff they're doing, like cleaning up their house and everything. And I'm the only thing that's good is I'm able to work from home. I don't have to drive in, but I'm still working from home as well.
Yeah, VA3GAR. I guess the advantage is there's nobody out in the roads, but I don't know. I really feel uneasy with all the things going on and what have you. But anyways, all the refunds have been issued for the Hamfest. There was only a couple of them, despite all the tables that had been ordered. I only had money for a few of them, so they've been taken care of. I mailed Radio World's check off yesterday.
Oh, very good, Glenn. I do appreciate you taking care of that. And yeah, it's too bad we're not going to be able to have the Hamfest this year, but that's just the way it goes. We're not the only one in that boat, and maybe we'll have to see if we can come up with something maybe in the late summer or early fall, just like a mini event somewhere, and have some ham radio get together. But well, I guess we'll have to play it by ear because no one seems to know how long this is going to be, and so we're at the will and whim of the government right now. And so, gentlemen, with that, I'm going to say 73. It's been fun this evening, as always. And thank you for making the COVID-19 Rag Chew a success again this evening. Looks like there was 22 of us on here this evening. And that's a good crowd for a midweek night. And I do appreciate everyone taking the time out of their busy schedules of watching television and joining us. Hi. So I'll say 73, and I will stick around until Gerard gets on here and make sure him and Percy hook up. But I'll talk to the rest of you guys tomorrow night. This is VE3 LKS.
7-3 Laird, VA3 DC.
Second. 7-3 Laird, BE3 FJC. Recheck.
Recheck, go ahead.
Now, Laird, it's VE3Ks. I see this. I'd like to see a lead still on frequency there and ask the question. Over.
Yep, go ahead. Lee, are you still with us?
Yeah, sorry, I just heard my name. I didn't copy the rest of it.
VCLSO, Lee, Victor Echo 3 kilowatts, Zulu Tango. And here's John. You mentioned Jeep, I just wondered what year your little toy might be. Over.
Oh, yeah. Well, Dirty is a 2001 TJ. I just picked it up, what did it be, 2 years ago this fall.
Okay, curious. Just when I hear the word Jeep, I hear it pop up. I play with a 1946 first year as a civilian. 7-3, and we'll get a chance probably to shoot it right later. 7-3, I'll be there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's a classic. Sorry, can I just grab your call again quick?
Victor Echo 3 kilowatt Zulu Tango, name is John. Leave it off to Hotel November.
Yeah, I'll let you up on yours then for sure. So thanks, Laird. VE3 LSO clear.
Yeah, Lee, the last time we were able to go to Tim Hortons, John was showing us pictures of his Jeep, and not only could you eat off the floor of it, but he did a wonderful job restoring it. And maybe sometime it's funny, we got a motorcycle gang in our club, we got a Mazda Miata group, and now it looks like we're starting a Jeep group. So maybe I've got a Mazda Tribute. Can I fit into the Miata club, or do I fit into the Jeep club, or am I just a total outcast? We'll have to see. But you guys may want to compare notes sometime in pictures. You'll be quite fascinated with John's with what he's just done with that vehicle.
Yeah, sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thanks again, Laird.
Hey, Laird,
Yes, go ahead.
it's Walter, FJC. I got something to say about eating off the floor. You can eat off my wife's kitchen floor. A little bit of mashed potatoes here, a little bacon, fried eggs, a little bit of steak.
Oh, it sounds like it's a regular buffet, Walter.
I'm quiet. I'm in the basement, so she's not listening, so I'm safe.
Oh, very good. You're a wise man, Walter. A wise man. Let's see if Gerard's on here. VE3 CWR.
Yeah, okay, I just cleared out the, I was upstairs when Joe called, my phone was downstairs, so. Yeah, I just cleared off with the, bunch down in Nova Scotia there. The club I belong to down there, a bunch of the guys were on DMR, so. I hooked up with them. I haven't heard them for about 3-4 months. Anyway, Percy's on here. How you doing, Percy? VE3, CWR, VE3, SAA. Not too bad, Jerry. You don't sound like you. What's happening? Well, I got old, eh? Oh, well, welcome to the club. Nice to hear your voice. Everything okay? And at the front, your wife, everybody okay, Jerry?
Yeah, everybody's doing good, Percy. We're on here every night except the weekends, and I usually check in. Last night I fell asleep. I come down at 6:30 and sat in the armchair in there and had a hot chocolate. Not an 807 or an 813 like it used to be, but anyway. And I fell off to sleep, and I woke up at 8:15. So managed to make it tonight, and then I was talking to a buddy this afternoon on the Nova Scotia ride through, and he said he's going to have a couple of guys on there tonight. So we got on there and had a little ride through.
Yeah, Roger. Where do the boys meet? Did he not show any? Do they have any particular meeting place, Jerry?